So page 29, what was your homework? Write down the formulas on your study sheet. I hope you did it. If not, shame on you. Okay. I'm just kidding. I will just judge you a little bit, but other than that, you're still valuable. Okay, you are. A mark on the test or the exam doesn't define you. All right, you're still a human being with a lot of value, but you need to put a mark down at the end, right? So these formulas, make sure they're on your study sheet. Make sure you have them exactly the way I have them. I've noticed that on the AC, some of you forget like a plus between brackets, so you're multiplying, you're getting this huge number, so you got to watch out. You better watch out. The blue, yeah. The blue study sheet, if not, there are copies up front there. Okay, I will continue, but if you go to 26, you see those bars there? On 26, page 26, you got to go back just a few pages, like one page from where the formulas. So go to 26. You're looking at those bars, right? We wish they were chocolate bars. I think then we'd all be like, yeah, I'm with you. Every bar you look at, you get a chocolate bar later. But you know what? I just want you to see, I just want you to look at this. This is a loan that goes over 1 year, just hypothetically. And every single payment is, the bars are all the same height, correct, guys? The payment stays the same. What changes? Every month, there a portion of your payment goes towards actually paying off your loan, and some of it goes to their pocket, to the bank's profit. That's called the interest. So what happens to the interest over time? The interest portion on your payment, it slowly reduces. You see that? It kind of gets smaller and smaller because you owe less as you pay off. And so as time goes by, more of your payment goes towards paying off the loan. That's something very important for you to understand, that lowercase I on the first month, right, is not going to be the same the second month, and it's not going to be the same the third month. It changes. But you don't see this really. This happens in the background, okay? I want you to know that though, before you graduate, that that's what happens to your payment every single time, okay? All right, let's do some more calculating here. Go to 29 with me. And I will put a twist to this one because it happened on the exam and I want you to be prepared for it. Okay? So example 2 on page 29. Dilraj is purchasing a Honda Acura for $35,600 after tax. What does that mean? It means that this price already includes taxes. Okay? Taxes included. Taxes included. So you do not need to worry about adding taxes there. Usually when we deal with loans, we do not worry about taxes. It's already applied. Okay. Page 29. He saved up 4,900. So 35,000 is important. The 49 is saved up for a down payment. Maybe I'll highlight down payment as well. He wants to finance the remaining amount over 4 years at an interest rate of 7.25%. And remember I asked you, like, we're going to go to page 32 to get that table rate for our payment in a bit. But to find the monthly payment, you should have this on your study sheet. We go what? Price minus down times something over 1,000. This is the table rate that we're going to go get. Okay, so let's go and get it. What do we need? We need the term and we need the interest rate. So remember that. 4 years, 7.25%. So let's go to page 32 and get that number. That's a mark. Just getting the right number is worth a mark. So go to page 32. We're going to match 4 years with 7.25%. So I put my finger on 7.25 and my pencil at 4. I just go over until I get to 4 years right here. That is the number I want to grab, 2407. Okay, so let's go back to 29. I'm going to write that down. Page 29. So what I want you to know is that this number is sometimes given to you guys, no table provided. So they will say 2407 per $1,000. This is the table rate right there. Sometimes they would just flat out give you that, and some students didn't know what to do with this. Okay, so it's just the rate. You don't need to go get it. So let's go find out the price minus down. We're gonna say it's 35,600 minus the 4,900. That gets multiplied by 2407 over 1,000. Watch what I do here. I leave this like that and I just put a bracket down here because that is what I want to multiply this rate by. So, but make sure you show me that number. So 35,600 minus 4,900, that's 30,700. What do we call this number right here? Look at your formula. It's the loan. Yes, it's the loan. So I'm going to write it down here because quite often that number, you will need that number down the road. Yeah. There's a table on page 32. Okay, that's all good. Right there. So you just match 7.25% along the left column, and then you go over to 4 years, all right? You got it? I'll come and see you if you still have a question. Thanks for asking, though. Thanks for asking. Stop. Okay, so here we go. 30,700 times 24.07 divided by 1,000. And there it is. It's a huge payment. 9.5. Okay. I'm just gonna give you some advice here. If you get your first car, don't spend too much money on it. Chances are you're gonna ding it, scratch it. I'm just saying, chances are. So just $5,000 gets you by. You learn how to drive, right? And then you get your nice car after. Okay, just saying. So that's my monthly payment. It stays the same for 4 years, correct? I'm going to make 48 payments in this case, 4 times 12. The total amount paid to the bank in 4 years. I'm going to skip that for now. We're just going to go straight to total interest. What's the total interest paid on the loan after 4 years? And I will just add over the life of the loan. Same thing. Don't let that throw you off. What else do I call total interest? What else do I give it? A name that I give it. Starts with an F. Finance charge. Okay, so if you ever see this on a test, right? Don't want you to panic. It's the same thing. It's total interest. So total interest, you should have a formula called TI, and I'm still going to write down the formula before I plug it in. So it's the payment times 12 months times years. That's what you start with, minus the loan. So when it's total interest, you want to find the difference between the two. Because guess what? You're going to pay back more than what the loan was. You want to know by how much. Okay, guys? You want to know like how much did I pay in interest? Like how much more did I pay them back at the end of the day? You ready? So it's 738.95 times 12 times how many years? It's 4, okay? It's not always 5. Some students think it's always 5. No, just read the question. Minus the loan. Where did I calculate the loan already? Yeah, 30,000. You're not borrowing 35, right, guys? 35,600 because you're making a down payment. You're borrowing this much. This is what the bank will give you. So we're finding the difference between what you paid them and what they gave you in the first place, okay? So let's figure this out. 738.95 times 12 times 4. Just make sure I do this right. 35, 469.60. Yeah. 35,469.60 minus 3,700. And here we go. So I'll keep that on my calculator and I'll just go minus 30,700. So you paid, look at this. You could almost buy another beater with this, a beater car, with the interest you've paid. That's the total interest. That's the bank's profit in 4 years. So you got to think they have thousands of loans. And so if they make thousands of dollars on all their loans, they make money, right? This part right here is the total paid to the bank, this one right here. So that's why I skipped it because we're doing it anyways. Do you think I should? I'm just going to copy this number and write it up here. So if you want to actually calculate that, so it's the 35,469.60, okay? This is that number there. Next, calculate the principal and the interest paid first month, on the first month's payment, just the very first. So remember, I want you to think whenever you have a question like this, always remember there's this bar called your payment, right? This is the 738.95, and most of it usually is the principal, and there's some interest there. It breaks down into those two components. Okay, the one you need to calculate first is I. Think of, be selfish there, right? Think of I, right? Just me. So I is loan times interest rate divided by 100. I'm going to go interest rate as a percentage here. All of that divided by 12. So here it is. Loan, I already know what it is. I used it here. Just keep in mind, I go A, B, C, D, E, but I could just set this question up, just you calculate your payment, and then I go straight to just this one. What's the interest and principal on the first month's payment, right? So don't always think you're going to have everything just there laid out. Interest rate divided by 100, you take the 7.25, you divide it by 100, and that's this. Do not round. So we're going to go 0.0725, all of that divided by 12. I'm almost done, and then I'll give you some class time to work. So 30,700 times 0.0725 divided by 12. That's 185. 40 what? 48? Okay. I heard you loud and clear. There you go. That's the interest on the first month. And now that you have this part, you're just going to subtract it from the payment to get the principal. So principal is usually it's always found by going payment minus I. So we're going to go 738.95 minus 185.48, and I'll just give you the answer, 553.47. So these combine to your payment, right? How much did Dilraj pay for the car in total, including the down payment? Okay, so I call this total paid for the car. You have to kind of just read the question to figure this one out. And so you basically want to go total paid to the bank plus your down payment. Like you just want to say like how much did you actually take out of your pocket and put towards the car? Total paid to the bank is up here already, 35,469.60, and your down payment was 4,900. So this is really, sorry, you couldn't even see that. Sorry guys, there it is. Right, so total paid to the bank, I grabbed it from B or C, whichever, and I add my down payment. So this is 40,369.60. I think we are good to go here. I just want to close with one final, a few points to be made. We're going to go to 31. Yeah. You want to write this down first? It's just a few bullets here. Page 31. You got to make a distinction between these two. So if me or the province ask you, how can you reduce or lower? You can say decrease. I don't know. They're going to come up with creative ways to ask this. The total interest paid. Like, how can you bring down? So basically, the TI. How are you going to bring that down? What can you do to make that happen? You can increase the down payment. Remember, I think this is going to help you remember. If you find a way to pay it off faster, that's how you're going to save money, right? So if you have a bigger down payment, you're technically paying it off a little faster. You can make additional payments. What does that mean? Well, you can say, okay, my payment is $738 a month. Can you add a payment of $100 a month? You can actually set up a second payment. And so every month you're putting extra towards it and it pays it off faster. You could negotiate a lower interest rate. However, you got to be careful here. Can't be done after signing. Okay, you can't say, oh, I want the lower interest rate. Once you sign that paper, you're kind of stuck with it. Mind you, you could pay it off if you wanted to. The next day, you could come and just pay off the entire loan. Mortgages, not, but loans, you can. And last one here, you could reduce the term. So 3 years instead of 5 years. So if you tell the bank, hey, I want to pay it off faster, please, instead of a 5-year loan, give me a 3-year loan. Yes, your payment will go up, but you will save on interest overall. Remember that. I would have 2 of these under how to reduce the total interest paid. And the next one, how can you reduce or lower your monthly payment? So how can you bring your payment down? And there's some overlap. Some are the same, but there's one substantial difference. So I will increase down. Okay, I'm just going to say that. You can, yeah, reduce the term. Yeah. Looks like a doctor's note. Reduce the term. Another fancy word is amortization. If you want to impress me. Amortization is another one. We're going to use that in mortgages. Same thing. You can also negotiate lower interest rate. Can you reduce the term? If you reduce the term, will you reduce your payment? The exact opposite is going to happen. So you actually want to increase or lengthen the term. Look at this. Now I'm going to write it nice and neat there. So this is the exact opposite as over here. You want to increase or lengthen the term. 5 years versus 3. Okay. Well, that's it. That's good enough. Good enough. Yeah. Just let me say one more thing here. You keep on saying you're going to say one last thing and then just keep talking, right? I know. This is what I want you to work on. I hope you're done copying. I'll go back to this in a bit. Go to page 33. And I'm basically just going to ask you to go. I'm going to call this homework, but I'm going to give you class time to do it. So this goes all the way to 36. I hope that you get more than half of this done today. Okay? I will post the key, and then I'll walk around. And if you're stuck, question 2, because it might be frustrating because what I want to do is I want to break the mold that every question is exactly the same. If you go to page 34, it actually does ask you to calculate the cost including taxes. So because we're buying from a dealer, regardless if it's new or used, you have to pay 12% tax. Remember that? So you can use private, use dealer, whatever you want to do. The bottom line is that you're adding 12%. And so this is now the price including taxes. And then from that number, I continue, right? What's my loan? Well, take away the down payment. Take away the down payment, that's my loan. Some students think that the down payment is like a trade-in. It's not a trade-in. It's not the same, okay? So don't be taking the $2,000 off here before you add taxes. It's only if you have a trade-in that you subtract before doing the taxes. So just, if you do the work, you're gonna see, you look at my key, you should be prepared for that. And